Well, the situation is a daring situation in terms of the humanitarian needs in the country. We know that the majority, we have over 2.3 million internal displaced people, and we have around 700,000 that have been fled to different countries. But if we go a little bit deeper, what we are seeing is a serious issue in terms of access to food, in terms of ensuring that the health services are provided, and there is a high risk that the health infrastructure will not be able to support for long term. There is lack of medicines in many places. The conditions of access to water in different places is extremely low or bad or has been totally interrupted. And you will have a serious issues of sanitation. And the issues of sanitation are going to bring another sort of humanitarian problems. And if we add this to the climate crisis, the already existing food insecurity, the coming floods, the socioeconomic impacts already of the crisis, what we are talking is a tremendous level of vulnerability and huge needs that need to be addressed in the country. The Sudanese Red Crescent Society is operating in the 18 states. And you see in front of you the different pictures of the work of the National Society, but the needs definitely compared that the available resources are definitely not met.
Mr. Castellanos, how are you managing logistics given the kind of picture that you've just given us? And are you able to reach people who are really in need in some of the far, difficult places to reach in Sudan given the ongoing war?
Well, let me start saying that the network of the Red Crescent Society is a network that is practically in every state, in every district, and in different local communities. And that allows to have always a member of the Red Crescent Society operating. We have so far managed to ensure that 20 planes have arrived with humanitarian aid, and we have managed to distribute across the country the humanitarian aid. We are in contact with different other organizations, starting with the ICRC, the International Committee of the Red Cross, with World Food Program, with UNICEF, with IOM, and all the actors together, we try to put our part in order to ensure that we are able to deliver humanitarian services. Just to give you an example, more than 40 tons of food was possible to distribute inside Khartoum and other affected country places, thanks to the collaboration between World Food Program and the Sudanese Red Crescent Society, where the volunteers are delivering humanitarian services at all time. We are providing the same services and in different parts of the states, and not only in the affected by the conflict, but also in those where there are significant level of internal displaced population.
Mr. Xavier, thank you very much for what you're doing in Sudan to help those civilians that are in a dire need of aid. Xavier Castellanos is Under Secretary for the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies.